Good evening and welcome to the Pearl Report. I'm Diana Lin. Have you heard of the Society for Truth and Light? It's an organization with a history of discriminating against sexual minorities. Yet earlier this year, it won an open tender from the Education and Manpower Bureau to teach a human rights course to Hong Kong's primary and secondary school teachers. This has enraged local activists. The society has no record of teaching human rights in Hong Kong, and there are doubts it can do so fairly. Producer Chris Lincoln has met with teachers to find out what kinds of human rights are being taught.
Schools in Hong Kong don't have a separate subject for human rights. It's included in civic and moral education. But teachers have been asking the Education and Manpower Bureau for training so they can explain to students, for instance, what it means to be free to protest.
My students are interested in very controversial cases in Hong Kong about the Article 23, and my student asked me about why there are so many people coming out for demonstration on the 1st of July. And then I could not answer that kind of question.
Teacher Stephen Hung grew up in Kwun Tong and served as an urban councillor there. He thinks the idea of rights in Hong Kong hasn't been around that long.
Maybe the 90s of Hong Kong, they start to think more about their rights, talk more about their rights, and even maybe sometimes they should try to fight for their rights.
Yvonne and Stephen came here to the Society for Truth and Light office for the first 5-week session for secondary teachers on human rights. Would you recommend the course to other teachers?
This course? Oh, no. But I would rather suggest the EMB offering more courses or more organizers to take up these courses so we can compare and find out which one is better.
If you think your time is valuable, don't try to join this course.
Yvonne said the first week instructor, former Democrat legislator Wong Xing-chi, kept stressing responsibilities when mentioning rights.
When you have the responsibility and then you don't want or you reject to carry out your responsibility, you are violating the other people's rights. He said that children have the right to be nurtured and protected by the parents, but they should fulfill the filial duty at the same time. And in schools, you have to follow the regulations. You are provided with the right to education, so you have to follow school regulation as well. I felt confused at that time, and still, there's no exchange. We don't say, oh, I have the right to study here, so I have to follow the regulations. So it's we follow the regulation. That is another thing, because we want to cooperate with the others.
I think that the concept is not so clear too. About the responsibility, he taught a little, not too much.
Stephen saved his most harsh criticism for the instructor in the 4th week, former Journalist Association chairman Yan Sung Kong.
I think that lesson is the worst one. It seems he teach nothing. I think he can't tell what is human right, what is liberty. Even, for example, how about freedom? I think he make many confusion there.
Up to now, I still cannot figure out what he was teaching at that time.
The subject matter in week 4 was liberty and freedom.
He, all the time, told all of us, told the teachers, told the participants that he did not study enough in this topic.
A translation of the course outline says because of liberal values, people only focus on individual rights and overlook responsibilities and duties to society. And further, advocates of extreme liberal ideals often use human rights to challenge the traditional social system. The society says it hopes to help educators understand the true meaning of human rights.
It is inherent, first of all, and then it is about dignity, and we respect people, and we should protect people against protect individual against discrimination, and that is some kind of the basic concepts.
Is that what you were taught?
No, I read from the other books.
The Society for Truth and Light wages campaigns over moral issues such as prostitution and pornography. It opposed legalized football betting, and it is now locked in a fight over rights for homosexuals. After a race law is passed, activists want to see a law to protect sexual minorities in Hong Kong. The Society for Truth and Light, or STL, is working to stop that from happening. Last spring, it was involved in a signature campaign in the Chinese print media against legal protection for sexual minorities. And there are these animated images in one of the newer free newspapers. They depict the struggle of people being stifled while trying to exercise their freedom of speech. In this case, the freedom to condemn gays and lesbians. The STL says it's not a religious organization, but has strong ties to conservative evangelical Christians. It turned down our request for an interview.
A major evangelical church is behind this, which is called the North Point Alliance Church.
Jai Chan teaches in the Religion and Philosophy Department at Baptist University. He likens the STL to the U.S. religious right.
In terms of the international world, they are quite similar to what President Bush and his supporters are doing in terms of his so-called moral agenda.
He's suspicious of STL motives in teaching human rights.
If you just want to do human rights in terms of promoting your own secret agenda of outlawing the gay from the discourse of human rights, that's no way. That's socially irresponsible. That is scandalous.
When the STL won the human rights teaching contract, there were howls from the rights community.
We are really concerned because we have been monitoring human rights situation in Hong Kong for quite a while, and we had obviously noticed there what this Society for Truth and Light has been telling the public.
This decision really surprised everybody in the human rights field.
The Education and Manpower Bureau refused to appear on this program. Its representative, though, did take comments and questions at the Home Affairs Bureau's Sexual Minorities Forum, where he explained why STL was chosen over two other bids from more experienced human rights teachers.
The quality of the speakers or the instructor, the past experience of cooperating with EMB.
And lastly, price. The Education and Manpower Bureau later told us the STL's past experience with the Bureau was teaching about the harm of gambling and related gambling prevention courses in the last 2 years.
We will not allow any commissioned organization to indoctrinate its belief.
Your commissioned instructor in a 24-page handout stressed 40 times that one should fulfill one's responsibility before they can get the rights.
Consider the universal human rights, at the same time also consider the responsibility.